Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to my respected lecturer, Encik Syafiq. My name is Muhammad Zukamal bin Muhammad Sheikh Alauddin. My matrix number is 18-F20F29. So today, I'm going to do a presentation for the topic Fish and Shellfish under the subject DTC 10093, Theory of Food, alongside with my group mates, which is Nur Atilah binti Abdul Bar and Nur Syahirah binti Kamaruddin. So I shall begin my presentation now. So fish and shellfish. Okay, so understanding fish and shellfish. Fish products are divided into two categories, which are fin fish or fish with fins and internal skeletons, and also shellfish or fish with external shells but no internal bone structure. So fin fish ni adalah ikan yang bersirip dan bahagian dalaman dia bertulang, manakala shellfish adalah haiwan yang bercengkerang tapi bahagian dalaman dia tiada struktur tulang. Okay, so composition and structure of fin fish. So the edible flesh of fish consists of water, same as the one we found in a human body, and it also contains proteins, as we all know that fish is high in protein, and then fats, because all animals contain fats, and other than that, it also contains small amounts of minerals, vitamins, and other substances. Okay, so fish has very little connective tissue compared to poultry or other land animals such as cows and goats, due to the fact that fish only swims and do not walk or runs. So this means that fish cooks very quickly disebabkan isi ikan yang lembut, and then fish is naturally tender, and then fish are cooked using moist heat cooking methods. Are used not to create tenderness but to preserve moistness. So moist heat method is which the heat is conducted to the food by water or water-based liquids such as stock, sauce, or by steam. So cooked fish must be handled very carefully or it will fall apart. Dia akan terlerai. So special problems in cooking fish. So the major flaw in fish preparation is overcooking. Kelemahan utama dalam penyediaan makanan berasaskan ikan ni adalah terlebih masak. So how to avoid it from happen? You need to observe this test for doneness. So firstly, the fish just separates into flakes, or it is the beginning to flake but does not yet fall apart easily. Secondly, if the bone is present, the flesh separates from the bone and the bone is no longer pink. So warna dia akan berubah. And the third one, the flesh has turned from translucent to opaque, usually white, depending on the kind of fish. So dia bergantung juga pada jenis ikan. Okay, so cooking fat fish and lean fish. So the fat content of fish range from 0.5% to 20%. So lean fish are those that are low in fat, and fat fish are those that are high in fat. And this method can also be observed from the size and shape of the fish. Okay, cooking fat fish. So there are three ways in which we can cook a fat fish. The first one is moist heat methods, we have dry heat methods, and lastly dry heat methods with fat. So moist heat methods, fat fish like lean fish can be cooked by moist heat. So for example, poached salmon and trout, which are very popular in foreign countries. And then dry heat methods, we have fat fish are well suited to broiling and baking. So the dry heat helps eliminate excessive oiliness. So dia tak nampak terlampau berminyak, tiada minyak yang berlebihan pada ikan tersebut. And then dry heat methods with fat. So large fat fish like salmon and strong flavored fish like bluefish and mackerel may be cooked in fat, but care should be taken to avoid excessive greasiness. Smaller ones like trout are often pan fried, and you must always drain the fish well before serving.
Hi, my name is Nur Syahirah binti Kamaruddin. Now I will talk about the type of cutting fish in market form. For the first type of cutting fish is butterfly cut. The butterfly cut is the one side of the fish is sliced from behind the head around the belly to the tail. The process is repeated on the other side of the fish, producing a connected or double fillet. There are two kinds of butterfly cut, with boneless or bone-in. Second is pullet, which means the head and gutted with fin and tail are removed. Third, stick. Them cut are skinned and scaled, such as salmon stick, usually retain the skin. Next, release. Release is a fillet that is neatly suffered and folded. Then, dressed cut. Upon the request, most markets will dress a whole fish, free of charge. Dressed fish is scaled and the all organ has removed. Last is fillet. Fillet is a cut that removes the bone. There are two types of fillet. First, fish fillet with skin on. Second, fish fillet with skin off. Dressing a fish. First, scale the fish, then cut off the tail and fin. If you want the easiest way, you must use the scissors. Next, cut and remove the head, then cut through the flesh just behind gills. The result is dressed fish. How to filleting a flat fish? You may use a thin and flexible knife. Cut off the head just behind the gill. This step is optional. Make a cut from head to tail just on one side of the center line down to the backbone. Next, you have to make a long, smooth, and horizontal cut again toward the outer edge of the fish. Then, gently separate the fish from the bone. Finally, remove the fillet and all done. Filleting around fish. Cut into the top of the fish along one side of the tail. Detach the backbone from head to tail. Next, cut under the flesh toward the tail and detach the cut piece. Then, cut along the curved breastbone and finish detaching the fillet at the head. Next, turn the fish over and repeat to remove the second fillet. Finally, the fillet is all done.
Okay, my part is checklist for fish freshness. If you want to know fish freshness is look overall appearance, the fish look good appearance. Next, clear slime, moist and pliable. Third, odors. The odors fresh and mild, no of odors. Fourth, eyes. The eyes are clear, shining, bulging. The gills red or pink. The texture of flesh is firm, elastic, and the scale shining, tight on skin. Last, belly cavity. The belly cavity, no belly burn, natural color fish, a flesh, pink or red along backbone. Okay, next, storing fresh fish. The objective, first, to maintain temperature of 30 degree Fahrenheit to 34 degree Fahrenheit or negative 1 degree Celsius to 1 degree Celsius. 2. To keep the fish moist. Third, to prevent fish odors and flavors from transferring to other foods. Fourth, to protect the delicate flesh from being bruised or crushed. Okay, next, method of storing fresh fish. First, on crushed ice, preferred method, use drip pen to allow for drainage of melt ice. Next, change ice daily. Okay, the second method is in refrigerate box at 30 degree Fahrenheit to 34 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, use if crushed ice storage is not available or practical. Next, wrap all fish or leave in original moisture proof wrap. Okay, next, storage time. Fresh fish may be stored for 1 or 2 days. If it must be kept longer, you may wrap and freeze it immediately or cool and then refrigerate it for later use in recipe, calling for cooked fish. Check store fish for freshness just before you use it. Even if was fresh when received, it may not be fresh after a few days in storage. Okay, next, frozen fish. Frozen seafood products account for more of fish served today than do fresh. If were not for the wide availability of frozen seafood product, commercial kitchen would serve much less fish than they do. Okay, let's move to the first point. Checking quality. First, frozen product should be frozen, not thawed when received. Second, look for fresh, sweet odor or none at all. Strong, fishy odor means poor handling. Third, item should be well wrapped with no freezer burn. Fourth, some frozen fish is glazed with a thin layer of ice to prevent drying. Fifth, check for shiny surface to make sure glaze has not melt off or evaporate. Storage. First, store at 0 degree Fahrenheit, negative 18 degrees Celsius or colder. Second, keep well wrapped to prevent freezer burn. Third, maximum storage time is for fat fish is 2 months, for lean fish is 6 months. Rotate stock first in, first out. Okay, the third point is canned fish. First, check can for sign of damage. Discard, slowen can or return to the supplier. Second, store like other canned good in a cool, dry place. Third, open canned fish should be placed in covered containers, labeled with the content and date, and refrigerated. It will keep for 2 or 3 days. Okay, the last point is stowing and handling. For frozen raw fish is first, stow in refrigerator. Second, small pieces can be cooked from a frozen state. Fillet or other portion to be breaded or prepared in some other way before cooking. Maybe partially thaw. Handled thaw fish as you would fresh fish. Do not refreeze. Okay, for breaded and battered fish, fully prepared interest and other frozen. Prepare fish item is first, read and follow package direction. Second, most the dish item cooked from the frozen state, usually in the deep fryer, oven, microwave or steamer. Okay, the next part is shellfish. There are two classification of shellfish. Is first, mollusks. Mollusks is soft sea animals that fall into 3 main categories. First is univalves, which have a single shell, such as abalone and conch. Second, bivalves, which have a pair of hinged shells, such as clams and oyster. Third, cephalopod, such as octopus, squid, and cuttlefish. The second classification of shellfish is crustacean. Crustacean is animal with segmented shell and joint leg. Mollusks. The most important mollusks in commercial kitchen are oyster, clams, mussel, scallops, squid, and octopus. Okay, cephalopod are classified as mollusks even though they have no external shell. The term cephalopod means head-foot, referring to the fact that these animals have tentacles or legs attached to the head surrounding the mouth. The most important cephalopod in the North American kitchen are squid and octopus. A third type, cuttlefish, is similar to squid but it usually seen only in limited market. The last is crustacean. The most important crustacean in commercial kitchen are lobster, rock lobster or longus, shrimp and crab. That's all from me. Thank you.